Hey family, I took a true-false test today in history and I want to talk about the experience of it and really why I don't like true-false tests. And while I'm at it, I'm going to talk about academia, I'm going to talk about lots of different things, so stay tuned, it's going to be good. Before we do that, I'm going to answer Vita's question that was intended for Josie, but Josie never made a video, so I have to answer it myself. What is my favorite gemstone? I like topaz personally, blue topaz to be specific. Although sapphires are good too. Really just the blue ones. I really like the blue ones. They're really pretty. Onward to academia though. I took the true-false test today. It was 100 true-false questions. And like I said, it was a history test. And I don't like true-false because of what I'm about to tell you. I think it's a very poor assessment of someone's knowledge because there's such a huge margin of error involved. Like if you take a question, and there were many questions like this on my test and other true-false tests I've taken over time. But you take the question, John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln in a theater in 1870. A student might go into that question and say, well, John Wilkes Booth, Lincoln, theater, assassination, that goes together, so it's a true statement, without looking at the year. But just the year, those 5 numbers, I think it was 1865 was the real date, not real year. But those few years, that little difference in number, makes the question false, even though I thought it was true based on the facts that were presented otherwise. And I think the fact that it's so easy to mess that up makes it a bad assessment of knowledge, as well as the fact that I think it's a lazy way to test, because multiple choice and true-false, all you have to do to grade it is shove it in a Scantron machine and it just pops out the grades for you. You don't have to grade them, you don't have to sit down and do anything. It's lazy. An essay test, it takes a long time to grade, but it's a very good assessment of someone's knowledge because it's straight up drawing the information out of their brain onto a page instead of asking them specifics. You're saying, you know, explain the ramifications of Abraham Lincoln's assassination and what was the most important thing that came from it. That makes someone really look into what they know and apply what they know into a real situation, and you get a really good assessment of someone's knowledge. Anyway, that's why I don't like true-false. You can disagree with me if you like, but really I think short answer and long essay are the best ways to really get someone's knowledge. They're more difficult to be sure, but they're better test implements, because the test should be to evaluate someone's knowledge, and I think true-false just doesn't do that. Onward to other points of academia, though, I want to talk about teachers and their salaries, because it's pathetic what the state pays teachers. A good rough income for a teacher in the state of Texas is between $30,000 and $40,000 a year, and this is pathetic to me. And I was at one point planning on being a teacher, and I still think if it's not an option that's close to me entirely, I'd still love to do it at some point in time. But the reason I can't do it is because of the money, quite frankly. Not entirely, but in a big way, it's the money, because you're asking someone to watch a bunch of children all day, right? You're asking them to teach them the tools they need to live life. You're asking them to be their mentors. You're asking them to be involved in their life to the degree that they make a real change and impact. And you're paying these people nothing. And I've heard the argument that we need to keep salaries low, that only people who really want to teach are going to teach. But that's not a good argument. Why not reward those who are really good at what they do and passionate about it and really do a good job? I'm not saying it should be making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not saying it should make hundreds of thousands of... Wow, I can't say that statement. I'm not saying it should make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But I'm saying that they should be fairly compensated for what they're doing. And I know, raising teacher salaries is going to increase tax rates, which makes the economy go down and all this kind of stuff. But even that is no excuse for paying someone less than what they deserve for the job they're doing, especially when it comes down to the future of the next generation. Vito, I guess you're making a video next. Josie, I guess you just decided you didn't want to make a video, and you know what? That's fine. That's whatever. You know, we don't care. I'm just kidding. If you want to make a makeup video, you can, but you have to make one in a few days anyway, so might as well just leave it off and whatever. So, Vito, my question to you is, if you had the choice of a hamster-sized horse or a horse-sized hamster, what would you rather have as a pet?